I had been giving my dad a hard time on social media for like a long time, and I just did it for fun. And
I saw the AARP post of like you guys on a lake or something. I was laughing so hard. You guys are funny.
Smash cut to a couple years later, and here we are. It's, Unstable premiered on Netflix March 30th, and
You're listening to Studio 22.
Welcome to Studio 22. I am your host, Will Meldman, here with my sexy co-host, Brock O'Hearn, and our amazing new guest, John Owen Lowe, a.k.a. Johnny Lowe.
But I'm sexy too.
I was just going to say, I have to follow that up with you're also sexy.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of sexy guys having a podcast.
I wore the shirt.
This is actually going to be our intro. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Brock got me this bobblehead.
I was going to say, if you got that for yourself, I would be a little worried. But if Brock got it for you, that's cool. No, it is cool.
But I'm so happy I have it.
It's like I have like a collection of bobbleheads of myself in my room.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, no, I'd never go in the room. Do you golf too? I know you golf.
I'm just getting into it. So I
Fuck yes.
Yeah, I just got clubs this last week, dude. I'm so fired up.
It is the best thing ever.
Dude.
It's the best.
We got to talk about golf.
That's the best thing ever.
How long have you been golfing for?
I've been golfing. I started right before COVID, so right before everyone started golfing. I feel like there was like a huge surge.
Yeah.
It's a good social distancing sport.
It
really
is, yeah. I joined a country club in Santa Barbara where my parents live called Burnham Wood, and I was going out. When I first started, I was playing like 36 holes a day, just like chunking it up, trying to figure it out. And then I got a coach, and I got a swing, and then been playing ever since. It's been a couple years, but I'm solid. I really love golf as like a therapeutic activity, though. It's a good litmus test of how you're doing mentally on any given day, I think.
That's awesome.
I can fully agree with that.
Yeah.
And yes, physical and mental. And I think that's why a lot of professional athletes really transfer over to golf when they retire.
Yeah.
Because they're so competitive and athletic, but the mental challenge, I feel is what gets them.
Oh, it's the best. It's the most infuriating thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I judge people on their ability to handle a golf breakdown, but by judge I mean I actively celebrate somebody who has a full breakdown. I have a buddy who golfs. I don't know. His name's Judah, and he's the best. And he's the nicest man. And when he duffs a shot, I've never seen somebody throw a club that far. He can throw it farther than my 7-iron.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, it's impressive. That's a feat. That's a skill.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like you could throw a club very far.
I think I could. I threw a hammer pretty far once.
I was just thinking that too.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day.
We were working on our horror film in Maui, first feature film that I've ever produced. Brock was amazing in it, but we literally stopped everything for 30 minutes because his character throws a hammer through a thick glass door.
Normal sized hammer.
Big sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer. Yeah.
But the thing is, Hawaii, it's massive hurricane glass, right?
Yep.
So the crew, everybody's we have one take with
How
this.
do we
can
do
only
this?
do it. Everyone's getting in my head, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to throw this thing so hard, and they're like, it might bounce back and hit you. We don't know. I'm did all this stuff. I was just let me throw the hammer. Yeah. Just let me throw it.
Dude, when we finally set up to do it, this thing, it went so far that we lost it. He threw it so fucking far that it slid through the entire parking lot into the darkness and into the jungle. It went far. It went 100 feet.
It was at least 100 feet.
Yeah.
And it was this 20-foot glass door, and they were demolishing the place, so we got to destroy it too, right? But it destroyed the glass. Everyone had a moment of silence, waiting for the shot to be done, and then they freaked out. And then we looked for the freaking sledgehammer. We couldn't find it for 20 minutes. And you're like, it's on the other side of the parking lot.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you guys
toss it through the glass. They're like, well, okay, we weren't rolling, so.
That would suck.
And
CGI.
And then right after, I got to drive a fucking pickup truck through the main lobby glass doors.
Whoa.
Which was fun.
Yeah.
Are you you're acting in the movie as well?
So I was a stunt double basically because we didn't have
You were his double, right?
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
No. You couldn't see me. It was from behind, just the car. You could just see the car. So but I was as the EP, I'm the only one that can, if anyone else does this and gets hurt, I don't want anyone to get hurt. So
That's legit.
fucking just
It was a
ram
ballsy
that
move.
shit through, and it was awesome.
Well, it was crazy because we're sitting around the corner, and the way the camera's set up, the crew, everyone's behind, and he has to go. He drives through, but goes around the corner, so we lose the truck.
You
Yeah.
only get one take.
You get one take, but it was also like 25 feet to like a 30-foot drop.
Oh,
And it's marble, so you're thinking that the ground, the truck's gonna slip, and
Yeah.
so everyone is like waiting for a crash sound of like the car going over the edge, and we're freaking out, dude.
jeez.
And I think we bought that truck for like $1,000.
Yeah, got our money's worth with that one, but made it happen, survived the crash, and we got the shot.
When
so.
does that movie? What's going on with that one? Does that come out?
Yeah, it came out in 2021. It's called The Resort.
No, that's what I thought. I was like,
Yeah.
I think when you said Hawaii Horror, I've seen it. It's great. Yeah, good job.
No, thanks. We, basically like,
The haunted hotel movie.
yes.
Yes.
So we basically got to like destroy the hotel right before it was about to actually be destroyed,
Yeah,
like taken down.
yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
but also on a golf course. So
Ooh.
circling back.
McKenna, shout out to everybody at McKenna. Kaimi, man, we couldn't have, with the chef Chris out there was like doing our crew meals, and he's like such a good fucking chef. So I'm like, this
Dude.
is the best food I've ever had on any movie
Hands down,
set.
hands down the best crafties of all time. Dude.
Yeah.
It really was 5-star the
Just
entire
not
time.
a normal film experience
No,
whatsoever.
yeah.
Just random and amazing and chaotic. Yeah.
But dude, it was a good time. A lot of good memories on that one. But
Key is hire a stunt department. Like,
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. I did a project, an independent film that we shot 2 summers ago that it's not out yet, but it premiered at the Santa Barbara Film Festival in February. But it was, low budget, sort of like scramble type shoot, cool script. And I didn't have to do that many stunts. It wasn't like a full blown action movie, but it's like a thriller, and there's some moment. And I'm ashamed to admit that like I am not that guy. I do not have it in me yet, but I said like, if anybody's listening, like I can do it. Like I have a hard time just like running for a long time.
yeah. No, I mean, so do I. To be honest with you,
Like jumping. There was like a scene where I had to like jump off this thing. It was not that high, and I could barely.
but people,
barely do it.
dude, it's I always say this to people, and like, I mean, I just filmed a bunch of workout videos, for example, and like, when you're doing stunts or you have a camera on you and you have to do something perfect, it is infinitely harder than doing it without it. Like, because you have to get it perfect, and then you got to keep going back.
Yeah.
And then you're in your head, you got to be on about everything you're doing. It's not that easy.
It's why it's illegal to like essentially drive and be filmed at the same time, right? Because like
Yeah.
literally people will
speak
crash.
and-
It's
yeah.
like you need to focus on acting, and even something as simple as driving, let alone running and jumping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like even that's why you have to fake driving all the time.
Yeah. And I'm in like peak athletic condition too, anyways. Otherwise,
Yeah.
so it's like I would. You guys cannot. take me
Like I'm
seriously.
like, obviously you're athletic.
yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
I'm dude. No, I'm not. I'm good at like non-athletics golf. Things
Yeah.
like that. Golf, ping pong. I'm nice at. You don't have to run
Dude.
too much in ping pong.
No.
golf is
Chess.
dude.
Chess, dude.
Chess. We
I
gotta
love
play.
chess.
I love chess.
Yeah, I love chess too. Chess is a fun, dude. What a fun game.
You guys like chess?
Love chess, dude.
Spencer's 0-2. Brock and I both beat him at
Yeah.
Stagecoach.
Oh no, Spencer, man.
He took so long playing Will that I wanted to punish him.
He
for
took
like I was
so-
like, I'm going to destroy
win
you.
regardless.
You didn't have a clock?
That was the thing.
Guys.
The clock makes all the difference.
It was like during a party too. We were just like,
I love
It's literally
that.
like 2 a.m. We're playing chess. Everyone's having fun.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, chess is great, dude. Do you use chess.com at all?
Of course I use chess.com.
There we go, dude. We'll have to add each other later.
Please, yeah. I'm on chess.com probably. That's probably like my second highest screen time on my phone. I
Really?
think like probably
Oh, wow.
like Instagram is
Dude.
one if I'm being honest. But then
Yeah.
chess probably. Yeah.
That's amazing.
you haven't even told me about chess.
Oh, bro. Well, it's my little secret fix in the background, dude.
Okay. So it is.
No, but yeah, I'll go through waves of it too, though. Like I'll go and I'm like hardcore for a week straight and I can't stop. And then I'm like, all right, take a couple weeks
Same.
off.
I do the same thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'll go on like a huge L streak too sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? It's like 15 games in a row.
Dude, it's
and I'm
the
like, I'm never
worst.
playing this again.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll have times where even like I'll be on an airplane and I'll play on the what do you call it, on the back of the seat, but
Yes.
the robot or whatever. I'll have times where I'm like destroying this thing and I'm like, oh, I'm killing it right now. And then I'll go again,
Yeah.
a week or two later I'm on another flight and I cannot beat it on the easiest mode it's on.
Yeah.
It's
It's a focus thing, I think.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. But I love that you guys like this stuff. I always joke, and you guys must be similar, like grandpa stuff, chess, golf,
dude.
Friday night for you guys. What does Friday night look like for you guys?
Dude.
Be honest too. Not that honest.
It could be, I think it's like an incredible range of things because I could be like at home with Penny writing comic books.
Yeah.
Or I could be out doing something more fun, I'll just say.
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat though when it comes to, I'm a bit of like a homebody where I enjoy I would stay at home, watch a movie, watch a new series, play chess. It would be sick to have, friends. If we have a group of friends come over, it could be Catan, something like that.
Bro.
Dude,
I didn't even see that.
God.
I didn't even see that.
Max Blank, if you're out there.
Dude, we just
Bruna,
Yeah.
Did we just become best friends, guys?
Let's go do karate in the garage.
Dude. I have like 6 versions of Catan, like the dragon
got all of them.
one,
Yeah.
all the different ones.
I love that. I've played most of them, but I still think I like the OG
Original's
expansion
the best.
pack with friends. Like, can't beat that.
Yeah.
Well,
You really
100%. I like dabbling with like the Game of Thrones one.
Yeah.
And then going back to original and like,
I'd say like nowadays, my latest nights are board game nights rather than like being out. Like, and I have very competitive. I don't like playing with people who aren't competitive in anything really. So,
nice.
Which I hope you guys are competitive.
Oh, don't like losing at it.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
no.
And so like the group of guys that I will assemble for like a Catan night, they're my close friends, but like shirts will come off and there's like flexing and like it's like gorilla
Beating
stuff
on the chest,
sometimes,
dude. Yeah.
which just makes so like counterintuitive because you're sitting there playing like a little board game. You're like,
But that game's so fun too. Like I have friends that'll lose their mind playing that because if one's too good and the rest of everyone teams up on them, they get pissed.
Yeah,
dude.
we always do that too. Yeah.
I knew Max Blank and Bruna were a perfect match after playing Catan with them. And if you guys are out there, they're getting married soon and I'm so happy for them.
Whoa.
But like Bruna is a badass and she will not just sit there and be like, oh, whatever. It's like, no, we're here to win.
You're matchmaking via Catan nights.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh.
Yeah, they stayed out here for a week and we played every night.
Yeah.
It was the best.
I
dude.
love that.
It's the best.
I love that. I also have I'll test the waters on this one. I don't play many video games. I really don't play any except for I have an N64 and I play Super Smash with my boys.
So sick.
Yeah, so he likes that. You like that too?
Well, I built out and Will's seen this firsthand. I built out my truck to go camping because I like to get out and go camping and adventure and stuff like that. But I built this little portable rig with a TV and a Nintendo 64 inside of it for that reason.
What games?
I have one that has all of them.
But like what's your go-tos?
I mean, dude, Donkey Kong, Mario Karts.
Mario Kart.
I like playing Zelda still, dude.
Sounds great.
But everything in that realm, dude, all the classics.
Yeah, for me, it's like Smash, Donkey Kong. What is it? Wave Runner, I think.
I haven't played that in a long time.
GoldenEye, I have, which is so fun.
So good.
And Mario Party, if you're feeling it, it's a long night, but that's fun.
Dude, it's like a Catan type thing, right?
Yes.
It's like, dude, Smash we'd like pregame to go out in college by playing Smash.
I love that.
And we just like drink and
Dude, I feel like the 90s and the early 2000s were just the best, dude. And there's just, I mean, the stuff today is so advanced for kids, but like the memories with, and I guess they're making that with this stuff, right? But the memories with Nintendo 64 and to see the evolution of it too and all that is just unforgettable, dude.
And then you have the Mario movie make over $1 billion, right? Like,
did you see it?
I have seen it. Yeah, I have. Chris is a family friend. I love him so much.
Oh, no way.
And
that makes sense. Parks and Rec, they were on together, right?
Yeah. And he's the best. And he is married to my godmother's daughter too. So it's
wow,
small world. But yeah, I mean, I feel like everything he touches is just a banger.
Yeah,
he absolutely crushes it, dude.
But Mario was great. I was like, and I am not I mean, I am a tough critic, but not for something like that. Because I know what my expectations are managed. I'm like, this is going to be like a fun, family-friendly movie. And it was better than it needed to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was
For
like,
sure.
Wow, it's a good movie.
You're not going to, you don't want to like take crazy risks either on something like that because it's so big. I feel like you need to establish like this is the world, the characters, and then like build from there.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah. And like, Mario, man.
Right,
Everybody loves
it's fucking Mario.
Yeah, like
Can't go wrong.
Just don't fuck it up.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's something like, you see The Last of Us as well, but when they do the video game adaptions, when you stick to the story and what people fell in love with it when it already has an audience, yeah, you can't go wrong with that. When you start to change it too much, I think, or make it something different, it's just not.
What's your biggest? I'm interviewing you guys.
Come
I love
through,
the
bro. Let's
question.
go.
What's your biggest like disappointment for an IP that you liked before it was a film or TV show, and then it came out and you're like, damn, that didn't live up to my hopes? Because I know mine. I could go first.
You go for it.
I loved the Aragon books. I loved them. If you ever read those,
It's just
Like
is that
Lord
what's yours? You can claim it too.
Yeah,
And that movie,
Aragon, Lord of the Rings, Aragon.
no,
Or-
that's Aragorn, bro.
Oh yeah, wait, yeah. I thought that's what you said.
That's okay.
Aragorn. Okay.
Aragon is like these. It's about dragons, and it's similar to Lord of the Rings in vibes. It's
gonna look it up.
like a young adult book. It's good. They're great. It's a long series too. They're like 1,000 pages.
amazing.
So good. And then they made a movie probably 15 years ago,
I think so, yeah.
and it didn't live up.
It sucks when that happens.
I know, because you want it so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. But honestly, I think even to what Will was saying too, Rings of Power was interesting.
I remember that movie.
Adaptation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Rings of Power. Yeah. I wanted that. Dude, I love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I think that, and this is also a great topic of conversation. I think that's probably my favorite. I was talking to my friends about this the other day, like, what's the best trilogy in your opinion?
Lord of the Rings.
I
Gotta
think
be.
mine's probably Lord of the Rings. I mean, it's unfair when people say something like The Godfather, and even that I'm like, well, the third
Godfather
one's bad.
3, yeah.
It's so bad.
You could argue Godfather 2 is the best sequel with like Terminator 2.
I think for sure it is.
Aliens. Yeah, but Godfather 2, I enjoyed Godfather 2 more than the original, just like
Agreed.
De Niro and fucking.
Agreed. But Lord of the Rings, maybe you could do like Batman, whatever, like Dark Knight Rises, whatever the three are. I don't know what else.
Indiana Jones, the original Star Wars trilogy,
Wars, yeah.
and Lord of the Rings, I think are my three, like with Lord of the Rings 1, maybe, and then Star Wars and Indy, like they're both so good. It's tough to pick number 2.
Yeah, but Lord of the Rings has got to be number one. Wait,
It's a perfect trilogy.
disappointment. Biggest
Oh
disappointment.
yeah.
IP.
I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Like literally, I like followed George Lucas's path and studied in his building of like being from San Francisco and studying film at USC and like studying in the Lucas building, trying to like
Yeah.
But like it's tough. Have they? They're making a lot of like shows for Disney Plus and stuff like that, and it's not even. I don't know. It's tough to explain, but because there's been good stuff too.
Yeah, I
You
feel
know what I
like
mean?
the response to most of it is I haven't watched all of them, but I know like Mandalorian's great, right?
Yeah. Like I
Okay,
think
well, hold on,
season-
because you were like iffy on that.
No. When it first came out, like season 1, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like we
Yeah.
got this new Boba Fett type with like Baby Yoda. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Season 3 lost me like a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but again, that's like actually a good example because it's like things to get excited about, and like even some of the animated shows have been kind of good. So it's like, how do you
Highs and lows.
Yeah. Like
sure.
which project do you pick to like judge it by? Andor was actually surprisingly good.
I heard that was good.
Yeah, it was like a dark take on it, and like
I'm not a huge Star Wars guy. I've seen them, and the originals obviously. I mean, that's groundbreaking. I just mean I'm not huge in the sense of like I don't like know the lore and stuff, but I know that my personal favorite one is probably like Rogue One, which I
Yeah.
don't think is a super hot take. I think a lot of people feel that, but that movie was so good.
Tony Gilroy, the Rogue One guy, did Andor.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so it's like very real and gritty, right?
Yeah.
Like
Sick. 50 Shades of Grey, obviously.
Yeah, I was so funny. Thank you for saying that. No, I was. Oh my god. I know. I'm surprised it took us this long to
Yeah.
get there.
No, I just had to bring it back around full circle,
Yeah.
guys.
And we could redo it.
Yeah.
We could redo it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in. Let's go.
Okay. Perfect. This is where it started.
No, but yeah, there's definitely been that, but it's also, I think when it comes to taking an IP and making something, you got to find someone who's really passionate about it, dude. They got to know the story, the lore. They got to like be invested, and then take it to the next level. Because if you're not and you don't have that vision for it, I feel like there's so many things can go wrong in film already. So when you add a whole nother layer of someone not really knowing the story, kind of, shooting yourself in the foot, I feel like.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, each film is like a mini miracle, right? Like just getting it made. So many things have to go right, and then to have like one unified vision. I mean, it's a crazy process.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I went through it with our show.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's finally. We
I'm
talk about
excited to
me
talk
for
about
a
it.
second,
Yeah.
guys.
Stop asking us questions, bro.
Yeah, but to speak to what you're saying, that process is so arduous. It is, and I'm so like, I use it as a glass half full thing where I'm just grateful to even every step of the way. When I got a yes, I was just trying to be like, okay, I'm grateful to just have gotten here. Because the way I describe it to my friends is like, selling a show and having it made and come out is like climbing a 20 rung ladder. And you need all 20 yeses, but one no anywhere up there, you're knocked all the way down to the bottom. So it's so grueling, but there's a reason it's like that, because then everybody would be doing it. And I was super fortunate in that I had cool people around me, and we partnered early with our co-creator, this guy Victor Fresco, who made like Santa Clarita Diet, and a show called Better Off Ted. It came out 20 years ago. But he was great. I don't like giving him too much credit, but Rob is a good co-partner, and his name helps move the needle, I guess. But it was crazy. It was 2 years essentially from the genesis of the idea, which I brought it to my dad, to when we rolled on it. I think it's 2 full years, and like that's not like taking 6 months off to go work on something else. That's me still working my job, actively writing on Lone Star, but in my free time, spending most of it, rewriting a pitch or an outline, or studying the pitch, or ruminating over what the world looks like, or characters, talking to Victor, getting his advice, checking in with him, then pitch, pilot, rewrite pilot, meetings with executives. And there's so much, like, how you can ice a kicker in football? It feels like it's just that the entire time. Where they just want you on skates the whole time, I think. It's so scary. But it does make that feeling so surreal and so, like, rewarding when it becomes real. I just remember, like, I wish I could like bottle that feeling of when you get that yes. And there's a few of them that carry the same impact. It's like, yeah, we want to buy this project. We want you to write the pilot. And you're like, oh, and then we're going to make it. Yeah. And then here's your production date, whatever. The first day you go and walk through your sets, it's bananas. And I've never been a part of anything from the ground up like that. I've been fortunate to work in different facets, but that was like, literally from the kernel of an idea, trying to integrate myself as much as possible in every, piece of development as an executive producer. So, hiring department heads and casting and set production, art design, all that stuff. It's been so fun. When I'm feeling very like, healthy, I'm like, I'm just so grateful. And then there's days where I'm like, could be better, but that's why we work in this industry.
Yeah. Some days are tougher than others. Right. And some stuff goes wrong. You got to fix it. So I'm really interested because you just mentioned writing, co-starring, and executive producing. So like, I kind of came into the industry just kind of thinking producing, that's what I love. That's what I want to do. Now I'm writing and doing, experimenting with that a little bit, but like, what did you start with, and then how did you kind of branch off into all of it?
Yeah, it's a great question. I grew up not wanting to be an actor because my dad's an actor and he's somewhat known, and I think that I was scared of the natural comparisons that would come of that, just because the little voice in your head that wants to instill doubt, tells you like you'll never live up to that or blah 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 blah. So I never humored that as a kid, and my parents didn't really want me to be one either. Is the truth. I grew up not in LA. I grew up in Santa Barbara. I was kind of a nerd. We went to the same high school.
We went to the same high school. Shout out
to Cate School.
Which
was hard.
Yeah,
it was hard
for sure.
I remember it being hard, and I worked my butt off, and I was an intern at a stem cell biology research lab every summer in high school. I thought I wanted to be a molecular biologist.
Wow.
I worked at the UCSF Eli Broad stem cell regenerative health stem cell lab, and I loved it, but I always wanted to do something creative. I knew I was artistic. I was still writing on the side.
Is that where the science portion of the show kind of
a lot
came
of it?
from?
Yes. So I'll give credit where credit is due. Victor helped formulate most of the world as well, but yes, the lab background, the science stuff, it was natural. It was sort of we thought the nexus between what's the most interesting place to set this and also the most realistic for us. And then I got into Stanford. I went there and didn't know what I wanted to study at all. And I was still writing. And then I remember just on a whim saying, I want to intern in a writer's room, which is funny because they're like, intern, it's not really a thing. So I was a production assistant. And it was on a show called The Grinder, which Rob was on. So it was again, another helpful sort of doorway. And I do think it's important, I'll say it here, but it's like I acknowledge the Nepo baby thing big time. And I think it's important that people who do come from privilege, which I definitely do, at least just acknowledge it. I don't necessarily think people need to be on an apology tour for it, but it is bullshit if I were to just sit here and be like, and I'm just like everybody else out there. I worked my ass from bottom to top. It's like, no, I had doors opened for me that other people didn't. And I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, but that's not to say you weren't working your ass off the whole time also, right?
For sure. I think it's a sort of a simultaneous thing.
Yeah.
It's important that I acknowledge it, and then I can also kind of defend myself and say, I'm still working my butt off. But
I think if opportunity's there though, you should take it, And,
yeah.
And that's a good thing that, you were able to have that and then to take advantage of it too, because a lot of people could be in that same situation and not do anything with it. So the fact that you're leveraging what you have, which is what we should do in life regardless, to get us where we want to go is dope.
I love that take. Yeah, I agree. And I think it's about perspective, really. It's not, it goes with anything in life. If someone is successful or unsuccessful, whatever, it's if they're self-aware and cool about their position, then I can get along with anyone. And same goes for me. I have to be self-aware about that. Tangent.
Okay.
And anyways, I fell in love with comedy writers' rooms. Comedy writing to me was the thing that pulled me in. And I worked as a PA for 3 years on a few different shows. And I was acting a little bit on the side too. My dad convinced me to audition for a part in that show, The Grinder. And this is a true story. His pitch was, it's a high school douchebag. You'll be perfect for it. I was like, thanks, man.
That's awesome.
Thanks. And then I got the part and I was like, fuck.
That's hilarious.
But I wasn't I didn't blow up or find success or anything. So I knew I was okay, if I'm going to act, it will probably be a byproduct of the other things that I do creatively. Because I hadn't formed that passion for it yet. And I had that for writing. I really did. And so when I was working as an assistant to this director on for a season of American Horror Story, it was Cult. And he's the best. Shout out Brad Baker. He's the EP director there and on a bunch of Ryan Murphy projects. But I just badgered him with scripts, and then one thing led to another, and he connected me with someone, and at one point it was I was maybe going to write for 911, which is the original show on Fox. And then they were like, we're going to do a spinoff. It's probably going to be your dad as the lead, but you'll have more room to write there because it's a smaller room. It's not an established show. And so I was like, okay, I can do that. And the truth is, it goes back to what you were saying, is again, an opportunity that arose out of a combination of work and opportunity. And then once you get there, the truth is Yeah, you can have a door opened for you because of position, but you don't get to stay there unless you produce. And I remember
100%.
Yeah.
Like I completely, we've talked about this a couple times, dude. It's like a lot of people can, get an introduction here or like meet someone there or like even get like a big opportunity, but it's what do you do with that? And then what do you do with that over time? Right?
Exactly.
And it's like, if you're passionate about something and you're like consistently on it, fucking rock and roll.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I got that opportunity, and I ended up writing 5 or 6 scripts over 3 seasons, and I got promoted from staff writer to story editor there. I loved it. I had amazing bosses. They taught me most of what I know about the structure of writing, and they were so patient with me, and I made it a point to try and learn as much as I could. And God, this is a long answer. I am sorry.
Dude, we love it.
I'll wrap it up here. I was writing on the show, and I'd have to cover my episodes, the ones that I wrote, and I would have to be on set, and essentially like all the other actors on the show are so lovely and talented. And then, Rob's fine, but I would sit there with him and I'd be like, hey man, this is your line. And he'd be like, yeah, it doesn't sound natural. I'll just do this or whatever. And I would walk off set and call my manager and agent and be like, I'm losing my mind right now. Like, because I can't complain about it. Because I can't be like, because it's, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear you be like, woe is me about this wonderful position I'm in, and the fact that Rob might be a little extra difficult with you because you're his son. And
it was working with family.
Yeah,
right?
Like anyone family. And everyone can relate to it. It's
any
just
industry,
it's just that specific dynamic, because it's an entertainment, has like a magnifying glass on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I would call them like basically weekly and finally, and they would just like laugh at me in a fun way. And then finally we were all kind of like, I think there might be a show here. This is kind of funny. And I had been giving my dad a hard time on social media for like a long time, and I just did it for fun. And
I saw the AARP post of like you guys on a lake or something. I was laughing so hard. You guys are funny.
Yes, I like to humble him. And it had gotten like some media attention. I had done like a talk show or 2 talking about it with him. And so we knew there was like a general interest. And so that was like the first time I was like, oh, maybe there's a show here. And then, smash cut to a couple years later, and here we are. It's, Unstable premiered on Netflix March 30th. And I was, man, I remember the night, I stayed up the night, because they do a thing called, I think it's called a review embargo, where they just like hold all the reviews until it releases. So I was like, I'm staying up till midnight to read these things, stupidly thinking that they all just drop at midnight. It's like some kind of like online thing. It didn't work like that. They kind of scattered, came out. But the first review that came out, I remember reading it. I think it was the like Wall Street Journal one, which was a very good review. And I remember that was one of those moments that I wish I could like bottle. It was so surreal. And because I thought I was going to get wrecked, is the truth. I think it's easier to judge someone when you're like, I don't know how they got to that position, and so I'm a little iffy on them. And I'm okay with that. That's like, I'm fine having to, prove people wrong in that sense. And naturally, though, I was like, okay, I'm ripe for the picking here. Like, if I didn't do a good job on this, they're going to tell me. And so I was so elated to get that kind of response from the show.
Dude, hell yeah. It's all your hard work over years, like culminating in this one moment. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, I think like when I was first watching it, I really appreciate your like baseline stability, right? Because it's like your pops is like the unstable one, unstable. He's like an Elon Musk type, right?
Yes, yes, that's exactly right. I can describe it. Short,
yeah, you'll do a great
briefly, but it's just essentially like a play on, my dad and I's relationship, a father and son with a dad who's in the spotlight and a son who doesn't really enjoy that. And Rob plays an Elon Musk-esque, eccentric, unstable, successful billionaire who's like losing his tether to reality. And the only person that can kind of retether him is his son, who wants nothing to do with him.
And I think you do a great job of like being that stable character. Cause like you don't, at least like in the first 3 episodes, I think it's having that like very good baseline of stability. Like you don't go too high or too low at any one moment. And like, that was really impressive, dude. Like it's the anchor of the show to like, right. To kind of keep that everyone in the office has like their different dramas and their different thing. And like,
that's exactly right. It's funny because it's, I mean, it's a model that's been done a million times. It's just only been done successfully, you know, handful of times. But you look at like, I don't know, and I'm not comparing myself to these people. I'll preface it by saying that. But you look at like Jim in The Office, or Krasinski's character in The Office, or like Bateman in Arrested Development. Like, there's an art to being what is both the POV of the audience essentially, and like the straight man, but also not just being forgettable. Yep. And I use Bateman as the example always when I talk about this, where I think he masters it.
Oh, yeah.
Masters it.
One of the best.
One of the best shows, dude.
Yeah, he really is.
Love that show. And him, and if you watch that show in a way where you're kind of studying it character performance wise, and just like, you know, what space everyone is occupying, like Jason has no right being as funny and as interesting as he is on that show. It's incredible. It's like, I think like a seminal comedy television performance. Totally.
Even like, you know, Amy Poehler, Parks and Rec, Tina Fey, 30 Rock.
Oh,
I mean, like you said, you can kind of go down the board with it.
And by the way, those are the shows we tonally we modeled Unstable off of. Like our dream.
I could sense that a little bit.
Our dream. I love that. Our dream was for it of that sort of, and that it's funny. I talk about this a lot too. Like that Thursday night NBC comedy lineup was so unreal. When you went like Office, Parks and Rec, 30 Rock, that is incredible. But to me, my favorite of those three is 30 Rock, and the pace and the absurdity, but also like the connection, and there's some, you know, sweet moments in that show. That was really when we were like, you know, if we were to do a direct comp, I was like, I love for it to be like 30 Rock. I love that show.
That makes a ton of sense when you're talking pace, right? Like when we were watching it, like it is like
fast.
Yeah, it is fast.
Yes,
it doesn't
really
like
fast.
Seem fast because I don't know.
I think it's because of the way it's shot. Honestly,
okay.
It's not shot like a sitcom in many ways, because it's not. But it has the speed of one,
right?
And that's I missed that in comedy, and that's why we wanted to do it. And Victor was the same way, and so was Rob. But there's also, I mean, we could talk about this forever too. This is an interesting topic, but like, what is a comedy nowadays is so broad. I mean, if you look at, and I'll try and have this conversation not embittered by the fact that like, if you enter your show, or like our show Unstable, into the like for your consideration comedy thing, I'm going up against like Barry and the Bear, which is not even comparable. and again, this is, if anything, it's the exact opposite of a knock. Those are two of my favorite shows on TV right now, let alone made in the past like 10 years. I think those shows are incredible. Incredible. I'm not sure I've ever laughed at either of those shows. I've had like panic attacks watching them.
Right.
But those are comedies now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's true.
With Unstable, we knew, we were like, let's just make something that, you know, there's stakes, but at the end of the day, stakes are low. You can turn it on in any mood and just kind of sit back and vibe. I miss those shows. New Girl's another example of that. Or, you know, Always Sunny's not totally dissimilar. You know the kind of vibe I'm talking about. Even like Scrubs or something like that.
Yeah.
And
you can pick it up
even
at
the
any
shows
point.
we just mentioned.
Yeah, you pick it up at any point and you're enjoying it. You know, it doesn't matter which part of it's
at,
right?
And you're not like, if you're not, I'm not advocating for this, but like if you're on your phone while you're watching it, you're not like, oh shit, like I'm stressed about this, but like I got something going. You know, it's just, it's supposed to be a holistically enjoyable experience. It's a comedy. It's just lighthearted comedy.
I can fully say I enjoyed the experience of watching it.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah. And dude, honestly, like being able to talk to a writer, creator, actor of a show that like you're watching and like hear their inspirations as shows that are so important to me as well. Like all the ones we talked about, the NBC lineup, et cetera.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cool because now I can like see it more in the show and appreciate kind of the source of it a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. I think everyone's take is different, but I feel strongly that most good writing is somewhat derivative of the things that said writer came up on. You know,
Yeah.
that's how it works. That's how art works. you know?
Yeah.
Write what you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But don't write it all right now because we're on strike.
Exactly.
Right. Well, right.
Yeah. Well, with your show, now that you've found this new groove with the executive producing and the involvement you have with acting and just everything you've done all around to make this, is that something that you think you're going to do full on from now on? Not just with your show, but moving forward?
That's also a good question. I'll put it this way. That's my goal. I know I have to remind myself that I'm fortunate to get to do that. My answer would just be flat out yes if I could guarantee that. But yeah, the truth is moving forward, after we get an agreement on our deal, but moving forward, looking at the future of my career down the line, I would say my ambition and my dream is to keep creating, and what that looks like, I don't have a clear image of, because I could go, there's a million different iterations of that. You could go, you could be brought on the second season of something as a EP writer or as a writer actor, or you could go sell another project, or you could, I could go shop a spec film script and write the character in my voice. And then, some actor pops up that's better for it than me. And I'm just a writer on it, whatever it is. But I know I will stay multifaceted for sure. And what's interesting, it goes back to what you were, saying, and I respect and I love that you're starting to write. And do you write as well?
I do, but I'm actually, I'm in the process of diving deeper into it.
Hell yeah.
I love writing. But
so then there's 3 writers at the table.
I'm more inspired by Will at this point, seeing the work he's putting in, some of the projects he's working on as well. But it's just one of those things, like everything I've seen as far as creation goes, like I got in this industry because since I was young, an artist, and I've fell in love with film at a young age, and it was my ultimate escape. But I wanted to give that back to people. And when it comes to telling stories, like for me, it all starts at the script. It starts at the story, and we don't have film and everything else if we don't have that, So there's stuff that I want to say and want to do and create that's on a different level that, I would love for somebody to hand it to me completed. But at the end of the day, it's like, I know that I got to step into that space and
for sure. And by the way, I'll come at you with a different angle of that, which is you'd love for someone to hand it to you completed, but there are stories that only you can tell.
Exactly.
Like there are certain stories that no one will be able to hand to you completed. That's the truth. Yeah. And it's like whether or not you feel inclined to tell them is okay. But if you do feel inclined, tell them. Like that's the truth. And I think anyone can write, it's very subjective. I think I don't want to, sound preachy. So I will say anyone can write. Not everyone can write well, but with the right amount of passion and commitment, anyone can write well. I genuinely believe that.
Yeah. I think everyone should write. Like,
agreed.
Right. And it's like totally just like you said, like, I think creative writing is just a healthy process overall. And like you'd be shocked kind of what you can learn about yourself just by free writing and having fun with it. But yeah, like I essentially started with comic books, wrote an entire comic universe over COVID. And then, that took like a year. And
that's really impressive.
Dude,
that's really cool.
It's been a lot of fun for sure. It's like comics are smaller, more contained, but also I'm like a big fantasy nerd. So I love like Greek mythology and like creatures or whatever.
And wait, from what I understand, is this you?
Oh yeah.
On my best days.
That's the big guy.
Right here.
That's what I'm going to have to work towards for the rest of my life.
I can see
He's
it.
Kane.
Yeah.
That's
what I look like with my shirt off, but
me too.
I would feel bad.
Don't take it off. You would make me feel bad, actually.
don't.
So please don't do
I
that.
won't, I promise.
Yeah. I forgot. Oh yeah.
You created a whole comic book universe.
A whole comic book. We have 10 comic franchises, like all different types of characters. But Kane is like the main one. He's like the Superman of our universe. But then that translated into screenwriting because I use Final Draft to write the comics, which some of the artists hate, but I love you guys. You've been crushing it with us. But like it's the same thing, just on a larger scale. Like I've been writing 10-page comic issues and now I'm writing 90-page feature film scripts.
My advice when people reach out to me for advice, which I'm always shocked about, like, me, okay. The most superficial, not superficial, the easiest advice I give someone who wants to get into entertainment on a creative basis is, even if you don't write, but especially if you do write a page every day. Like, you should be writing at least one page every day. And it's so silly and stupid because it's so obvious. But if you wrote a page every day, in 3 months you have a script. That's it.
Yeah. Wow. And in a year you have 3.
Yeah. Which, I'll be honest, there's no way I write a page every day, 365 days a year, but I would say I average a page every day. Like, that's awesome. If I skip 2 days, then I'll write 5 pages on whatever day it is.
But you're forming that habit.
That's exactly right. And so much of writing is just commitment to the habit. Like, finding a place where you feel comfortable doing it. And I'd say that's the other thing, is like the hardest part about being a writer by trade or as a career is like, there's so many days you don't want to be creative, even as a creative. And those are the days I think that separate like someone who's serious about it versus someone who's not. Because you'll still sit there at your computer or however you do it, and you'll be like, all right, interior, deli night. And you're like, this sucks ass, blah, 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 blah. But then, you did something.
Dude, I wish I could stop thinking about that stuff. Like, there's so many nights I just stayed up till 3 a.m. writing. Like, even Brock and I last night, we were like episode of the Arnold documentary episode of your show, and we were like back and forth.
Same
and
vibe.
No, just cruising Netflix.
That documentary's
it's sick. You're actually like, I noticed he wears this that same kind of ring you do pretty much all through the 70s, 80s. Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Sick.
The turquoise. My mom's a jewelry designer. Shout out to my mom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
Big
awesome.
shout
We'll
out.
have to check out her stuff.
Yeah. But I just like that you guys are watching my show. I'm just selfish and vain. Thank you.
That's funny,
to do it, man,
dude.
dude.
Like,
thank you for making the show.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, dude.
You're so
keep it going, man. Keep it going.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Do you have a writing process that you do specifically for you?
I think that I have things that I do. I would be lying if I said like, here's my routine. I wake up and do like, for me, I'm more, sort of like, can't think of a fancy way of saying it. I don't have like a strict sort of method, but I do have like certain things that need to be in order for me to be creative. And one of those things is I can't be around friends when I'm doing it unless I'm working with them on it. But like, I need to be semi-isolated, and I need to be in a room that doesn't have too many distractions. So like my office at my house doesn't have a TV in it. I don't bring my phone in there if I'm working. And I listen to classical piano every time I write.
That's awesome.
So that's
badass.
Those are my only things. It's supposed to help your brain, by the way. I think I'm just trying to cheat. It's supposed to like activate.
Wasn't there something like that with Beethoven and babies or something like that in development?
I believe it.
I have a question for you guys. How do you feel about adult birthdays?
Adult birthdays.
Like your birthday as an adult? Because I have a strong take on this, which is that I don't like them. I'm like, I'll go to my friends' birthdays, obviously, but like, if I show up at my friend's, if you're turning 30, that's a big one. I'm like, well, okay, I cut you. There's no judgment, whatever the hell you want to do. If it's like 28 and you're like, I rented out this place and I got this DJ and there's, balloons that spell my name out and blah, blah, blah. I'll go, but I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, we could have gone to dinner,
Yeah.
There's no way you need to talk to all 250 people that are here tonight.
Yeah. I have a friend who, what they did is every 5 years. So every 30, 35, 40, 45.
Totally cool.
Yeah.
I get that. That, by the way, I wish that was how it worked with everyone. Yeah. That's great. My mom is like, she it's like, thinks I'm 12 still. So she'll call me and be like, do you want me to like, so like what private room do you want me to rent out in LA for you? Like, it's like, back room Craig's, and like, you want me to invite I have like 35 seats. I'm like, I'm 27. If you think I have 35 friends, you're crazy. When you're in like 6th grade, you have 35 friends because you don't know what being social is. You're just like, what's your favorite Pokemon card? Now I'm like, I have like 7 people I want to have a full length dinner with.
I think that's a very healthy number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as you get older too, you realize who you are and what you like and, what you want around you. So you kind of start to slim. People you evolve away from friendships, right? Kind of grow out of them.
People get married, like,
stuff, life happens.
And I think, I agreed. And I think that as you get older, that you form different types of friendships. It's not just a universal thing where it's like, this guy's my friend, this guy's my friend, she's my friend. It's like, I have friends and then I have the people I want at my birthday dinner. They're two different things.
Yeah.
It's not like a guy that I'm fine getting like coffee with or something.
Yeah. It's like not to that degree, but who you invite to your wedding, right?
Yeah. Although that's a trickier one, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But fortunately,
step up.
None of us have to think about that.
We're not there yet.
Right now. By the way, Will, are you in a relationship? Okay.
I'm not. I'm single. I'm single, very single. 33 and single.
Some things we just like to keep private, man. But Will's single.
We're cutting off about 6 minutes of this podcast.
Yeah. No, the banner, the little Instagram banner is just like Will's single.
Yeah.
And then it's just your Instagram and we'll all post it.
Spence, we could do an entire clip.
I hope there's people who click on it thinking you're dropping a song.
Oh
yeah. Will's single.
Yeah. You get all these like blue checks in there. Like, can't wait. Like, well,
it's not exactly what I had in mind.
Not quite. But to finish that topic off, what I do now for my birthday is like golf. I invite
awesome.
like a couple guys and we go golf somewhere.
You do a trip somewhere, or is it just like more local, like at
I'd like to be doing trips. That's I think I just haven't done it out of laziness, but I would do that 100%. I do we did Ojai Valley Inn last year, which is like
that's awesome.
The best. I love that place. And you just go for like a day or 2 days and they have, a great spa and stuff. And that course is great.
Yeah.
I love that place.
Have you played Lakeside here in LA?
I have. I thought about joining Lakeside.
I just joined.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to talk about this because off the pod, because I'll talk about this forever with you. But
well, we literally have to go and have Brock use his new clubs and get out there. And Tommy Armour just sent me a new set of double down picture irons. That
at the risk of sounding desperate, you text me when you want to golf. There's a 90% chance I'll come.
Dude,
every time.
Yeah.
I think we're going. I think we're gonna do Friday. Yeah.
Just got a new golf buddy.
Yeah. Oh no, all the time. And by the way, I'm not bougie about it in the sense of with my friends, because I'm not a member anywhere in LA. So when one of my friends who's not a member can't play, I'm like, I'll see you at Whitsett and we'll play the par 3 9-hole, which is you can't even putt on the greens.
No, I play Rancho.
That's where I learned to golf.
Yeah. Oh shit.
That's where I learned. That's the first place I ever swung golf club.
Wow.
Yeah, but if for sure, if Pops is out of town and whatever, I'd probably play Rancho 15 times.
7-hour round.
Yeah.
If you play 18 there.
Depending.
It's I think this is true. It's the busiest golf course in America.
No shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Because think about it. It's in the heart of LA.
Yep.
It's a public course. It's $30 for a round or something. And the thing about them is the time in between tee times, I think they're willing to do shorter than other courses. So it's 5 minutes in between rather than
Jeez.
You have to do 10. So you're I remember getting to certain holes there and there's an 8 group stack.
Right.
And when I learned to golf there, so I thought that was normal. And then I went and played a course and I was like, oh, this is why people fall in love with this sport.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're actually out here alone.
That'll get you on though. You get a little bit of pressure behind you to get
That's
moving.
right. Yeah. I feel do I perform better under pressure? I don't know. My dad always says he does, but I think that's bullshit. I don't know if I do. This is a good question.
I think I'd prefer taking it at your own pace.
Yes.
Is that when he uses the gong head thing in the bucket?
It's made in Senegal or actually whatever, Chicago.
Dude, there was that line too when he's doing landscaping and he's no having sex with trees or whatever.
Oh yeah. When he made love to a ficus. Yes.
It's I didn't have sex. There was no sex.
Just there's so many funny bits. By the way, that's
so many.
What's so fun about writing a comedy is you can just be what's funny is this stupid idea.
Yeah.
And then you reverse engineer something around it. I remember Rob and I were texting about, what was it? There was a thing, so there's a part of one of the plot points of our show is that the corporate therapist that his company hires,
Fred Armisen,
played by Fred Armisen, who's one of my favorite actors ever.
Yep.
Rob's character kidnaps him, and then Fred's character basically gets Munchausen syndrome and falls in love with Rob.
He wants to move back.
He moves it. Yeah. He's a full-time occupant by the end of the season. But there's Rob we were texting randomly about this thing apparently in I want to say 1700s, like royalty in Europe. There was a thing called hermiting or hermitage, which is where if you were really fancy and wealthy and luxurious, it was a status symbol if you had a hermit living in your gardens. And by a hermit, I mean like a homeless person who just lived in your gardens. And it was like that. You would be like, I have hermitage. And so we were like, we should maybe make Fred have hermitage with your character.
That's hilarious.
But just like, that's such a stupid idea.
Yeah.
And then you just find a way. And by the way, what's cool about, a comedy like our show too, is when you have a dumb idea like that, it can either become a major plot point, or it can become an episode story, or it can literally just be a joke. It can just be one line. You're like, maybe this is a good place for the hermitage joke. And it's just a line. And if it doesn't work, you cut it. But I just love the freedom of that.
Yeah. I mean, that fucking does sound amazing. And of course, Fred could make anything work, right?
Oh, dude. I have so many stories about Fred. I think from his SNL days, he has this thing where he locks in on who's going to break and then tortures them in a fun way. And it was me. I was, I also love him. So I was eager to laugh at him mistakenly, because then it became how do I make Johnny break in every scene? Damn. And we had this one thing, this sounds stupid, but we had this one scene, I think in episode 7, where he's living in our house and I think we're trying to figure out a way to get rid of him. And he comes in after throwing a party and, long story short, at the end of the scene, which isn't about this at all, I'm eating a bagel in it. At the end of the scene, he was supposed to ask if he can have a bite or something. That's what was scripted. And instead, we did rehearsals. He didn't do anything special. And then when the camera rolled, this is my bagel plate right here. He would just say his line where he's like, well, I hope you're nicer to so-and-so. And he'd be like, and he grabbed it. And if you're me, he looked at me and he went and just carried it away. And it's such a stupid little move, but I laughed so hard to the point in so many takes that our director came over and was like, I know we're all having fun, man, but we don't have one usable take with your face in it. No. And I was like, okay, fine. And I was like, Fred, can you not do the plate thing? And he was like, yeah, sure. And he kept doing it. So I finally just had to pinch my side. I was like,
dude, it's when you get in that groove too of when you laugh once and you can't reel it back in. It's so funny, but it's the
you've
worst.
Worked with some great comedic actors.
Oh, dude, it's been really fun working with some of these dudes, man.
What's your favorite experience if you have one?
Yeah, what would it be?
Or maybe a comedy hero of yours, or anyone.
I mean, Danny McBride.
That's got to be it. I was going to say
Adam,
it for you.
All those, he's incredible. Even working with Nick Kroll, dude. Nick Kroll's a genius, dude.
He's really funny.
He's incredible. But dude, they're just funny all the time.
Yeah,
and you either play off it or they just dig into you, and it's always a good time.
I think my favorite. I love watching comedy bloopers, and I think my favorite one ever is McBride's in it, but it's not really. It's the Eastbound and Down one.
Dude, Ashley Schaefer
it's
BMW.
The best ever. Yeah, I think I know every word to that.
Deep in my plums.
Deep in my plums. Take me to the farmer's market.
Dude, that was
get a special 2 plums for one.
Craig Robinson.
Craig Robinson died. And then he goes, but then he transitions into the thing where he's like, I was making love to my wife, Donna. He's like, I was thrusting down on her heavily. She did not like it. It's so funny, unhinged.
Dude. I
could watch that over and over.
Because of lockdown, we had 2 weeks of quarantine before we would film every time we went back out. And literally the only thing I did was watch Eastbound and Down.
It's an amazing show.
So good.
Amazing. And it's appreciated, but I think that's a underrated show in the sense of I wish it held more weight in the cultural landscape of TV. Where I'm like, that was a incredible comedy, but it's HBO, so it's kind of niche, I guess.
I mean, they only did a couple, 4 seasons? Is that?
I think that's right. What are your guys what's your Mount Rushmore list of shows?
That's good.
I mean, a lot of the ones we talked about, man, if we're talking kind of network stuff, it's The Office, Parks and Rec, 30 Rock.
Yeah.
That Modern Family, stuff like that.
Yeah, The Office, yeah.
But then if we're getting a little more absurd, I'm talking South Park, Chappelle's Show.
Yeah, great shows.
It's Always Sunny is on there. You know, but yeah, so it's like you kind of have like the more baseline stuff and then the more absurd.
Yeah. Well, what about you?
Eastbound and Down, Entourage.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of everything that he's saying too. Like I like drama stuff too. I mean, even
Yeah, what dramas?
Dude, I mean, House of the Dragon I thought was amazing. There's what are some really good ones?
Breaking Bad.
Breaking
Bad's on my
Bad,
list
Sons
for
of
sure.
Anarchy.
True Detective season 1.
Yeah.
Dude, I just rewatched True Detective season 1 because I was like, I remembered it being so good, and I thought to myself, was it as good as I remembered it? And it was like better. It was so good.
Dude.
So good.
I'm
Oh.
overdue for a rewatch on that.
It's delicious. It's so good.
I'd say two of like my top 10 actors for sure, with Woody and
that's a good-
Matthew McConaughey.
Their chemistry together is just,
They're great on that. Yeah.
insane.
I don't know. I love McConaughey.
Yeah.
I just, this is so suspect what I'm about to say, but I'm like, just rewatched Magic Mike the other night.
Dude, I actually had never seen it and then watched it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, wow, it's actually like.
Defending it to my friends. I'm like, it's a Soderbergh movie. It's a Soderbergh movie.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
not
I
weird
worked-
that I watched a male stripper movie alone at night. Guys.
No, dude, I worked for Soderbergh twice on Ocean's 13 and the Liberace film.
Oh, Rob's in that one, I think.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
He plays like a weird doctor behind the candelabra.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's a great,
true.
I love that.
I was like, I think I was 19. I was PAing.
Dude, Soderbergh's the man.
We had a day where like we literally only filmed for I think 2 hours.
Whoa.
And like everyone was like, because he just came in, knew exactly what he wanted, and then boom.
He's such the Ocean's movies are so good. They're so fun.
That's
They're fun.
That's one of my favorite like series of films, dude, trilogies. Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're Ocean's 11, dude. First time seeing that, dude. I'll see you when I see you. You know, Like,
Yeah.
dude, the best.
I was talking to someone recently, I won't name them, who's not well versed in films, and I was like, did I forget the Ocean's movie? Oh, I was rewatching The Italian Job or something, and they were like, I was like, have you seen Oceans? And they were like, yeah, it was pretty good, Ocean's 8 or whatever. And I was like,
What?
the like remake they made recently, is that what it was? Ocean's 8?
Yeah.
And I was like, no,
Yeah.
no,
The originals.
the originals. But good
Like,
good for them.
Oh, I was watching Ghostbusters.
Yeah, the new, yeah.
2016.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
God.
it's all good.
I want to talk about something fun.
Yeah.
Will, are you single? No, I'm kidding. Just
I
keep doing
am
it.
single.
This is my reoccurring bit. Like that you have a new segment on
Beat
this
it to
show.
death.
Every person has to ask you.
Unless my girlfriend's watching.
Yes.
Yeah, then I'm not.
What's like the most red flag thing you can say to that question? I think it would be like, I'm just dating myself right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
How do you feel about
Maybe-
open relationships?
You're right.
Well, it's funny you ask because I'm in one. No, God. Yeah.
I'm wide open. I'm single.
I'm in an open relationship with myself.
Yeah. Honestly, that's genius. I might start using that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm practicing.
I allow myself to see other people.
I allow myself to see other people.
Yeah.
But at the end of the night, I come home to myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I am my main.
Loyal.
Yes, I stay loyal to myself.
I had some chick say that to me one time. I'm like, what does that mean?
She's what?
She's loyal to herself.
What?
I'm like, what do you mean by that? We didn't date or anything like that, but when we first talked
I would
years
hope
and years
not.
ago, I was just like, what is it? What are you
Well,
what are you saying?
The implication is that she's not going to be loyal to you.
Yeah.
She's loyal to herself.
Yeah. I respect you for, doing your thing, but I'm good.
I don't know what that means, but I feel like I'm not loyal to myself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't really know.
I think if you were, you'd know what it meant.
Yeah. 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 There you go.
I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah.
What's the no?
Well, I do like the weird questions, and I'm super down to keep going with more weird questions. But I have one more like film related
Yes,
question
please.
because like you sparked my interest talking about some of your inspirations.
Yeah.
And we're talking about like favorite shows and all that. What are some other like really landmark shows or films that have like
I love this.
really affected your writing and all that?
So shows, I would say, splitting it drama comedy a little bit. Like you said, Breaking Bad. I think that was an incredible show. I think that's character development wise one of the most interesting shows ever made. I loved The Wire. I loved The Sopranos. I loved what else did I'm trying to think of like what I tuned into like religiously. I don't know. Dude, I liked Lost a lot. I don't know if I'd put it up there on that list, but I'm just trying to remember like being a kid. Current drama. I mean, this is such a cold take because everyone shares it, but like Succession is phenomenal. I think phenomenal. I really do think that. I really liked Mindhunter. That was on Netflix.
Loved Mindhunter.
Yeah, I mean, it's David Fincher. It's like you can do no wrong.
Yeah.
That's some dramas, comedies. It's what we talked about. Parks, Office, 30 Rock, New Girl, Curb, Always Sunny. Modern, the modern comedy drama hybrid. I love Barry. I love The Bear. I love What We Do in the Shadows.
Dude,
great
underrated show,
really
right?
Good show, really good show.
I didn't, I was a fan of the original kind of indie film Taika did, and then I was like, how are they gonna make this in a show? And it was all about, I feel like, the casting of those characters.
Oh my God, what's his name? Matt
Is
Berry.
it Matt Berry?
He's the best,
dude.
So funny.
Even like Nandor is really funny too, and Colin Robinson. But I think Matt Berry like makes that show
stand out for sure.
Yeah.
You literally said that the other day when we passed.
We passed a billboard
like 2 days ago. Yeah,
I love that. Great take. And there's another and then high five. Come on, guys. Do you guys watch I Think You Should Leave? It's a sketch show on Netflix. It's Tim Robinson. You should watch it. It's very funny.
I haven't heard of it.
that's so funny because that's what I was going to tell you.
That I should leave. Perfect. Thank you. I have your permission. That's a big lobster, bro, right there behind you.
Oh yeah, Bahamas, Baker's Bay.
I'm just trying to throw like curveballs at you guys.
Yeah. It's a decent sized
keep you on
lobster.
your toes. Yeah,
Let's
I
be
don't
real.
know. I've seen bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spearfishing on lobster season day one.
Whoa.
It's like all the traps are full and you're legally allowed to go hunt them now. And you go down like
I like the dynamic of you two, where it's like we get a bit here, and then you're like, but actually, I like this is how I got that lobster, and it's like I want to hear both.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, and then I'm gonna keep going because I'm feeling frisky. So you're Warriors. You're a big Warriors fan.
giant Warriors fan. I grew up in SF.
So this is the first thing we don't like about each other, but that's okay.
Yeah, but I like if we're we
I
also have like
I support it.
we also have season tickets Lakers. So like if I'm not
I like this.
yeah.
What are you?
Your Lakers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although like Kobe Lakers is sort of my mecca. Like a LeBron Lakers, I support them. I love them, but it's not. It hits different.
Yeah. I don't think there's. I mean, I don't feel like there's any comparison there.
No.
It was a different team with Kobe.
Yeah.
When Steph, Clay, and Draymond leave, I mean, it's just
it'll be. You'll have the
gonna be
same feeling.
different,
Yeah. I feel like Draymond's gonna leave this year.
I think we might be able to keep him. I'm hoping. Obviously,
My thing about the Warriors, and this is probably boring to talk about, but I'll do it anyways, is how do you, I don't think you can keep Draymond and Jordan Poole on the same team. I feel like.
No, I think we got rid of Poole.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, then that makes sense.
I think we, for Chris Paul, he was a part of that.
Oh,
Chris
he was
Paul
part of
deal.
that trade?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
What did they think they were getting with Chris Paul?
Dude, he's still a killer. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously not like
he's great.
42 minutes a game starter, right? But like, I think in terms of, depth and the guard position, a little floor general.
Yeah.
I mean, Poole folded in the playoffs. And
Big time.
And CP3 won't fold.
But he was playing on a team with a dude that knocked him out cold in practice.
Yeah.
No comment.
But I'm not saying, by the way, I don't know who was in the wrong. I just know that would be hard for me to do. It's like take a pass from some dude who just KO'd me.
I know that happened.
Yeah, it was a good punch.
Damn.
Yeah. We'll see.
You ever been knocked out?
Have I ever been knocked out? I took a really big hit in
just
football, but it didn't knock me out.
Oh, shit. This is just turning into like, I'm going AWOL with you guys. I'm like, you ever been punched so hard you liked it? Joe Rogan shit. I'm like, you know how much a chimpanzee can lift?
Dude, he
Like,
goes
pull
off
that
on
up,
chimpanzees.
Spence.
Pull that up, Spence.
Yeah, no.
No, yeah. I've never been.
I feel like you've been punched
I've been punched a lot.
a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just feel, and I say that because I feel like men would want to test their strength against you.
Yeah, it doesn't usually go well for everyone.
I can believe that.
Yeah, but
You're-
it was
dude,
more when I was
come
younger.
on,
Yeah, right.
He's Kane.
Yeah, give me a couple of swords, it's on. No, but when I was younger, I think that I don't know what it was about me. I was just big, even when I was like 19, 20, 21, going to bars and stuff. Guys just want to challenge me all the time. They'd get drunk or
I could see that.
yeah, and so they would just always be something. Usually I was okay. Everything worked out, but I did cage fighting for a while when I was younger.
Okay.
And I got some nice little hits from that.
Damn. Yeah, Will and I did cage fighting too.
Yeah.
We just don't talk about it.
No.
You guys should be the second, or you should be the match before Elon and Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
There we go.
That'd be cool.
No.
Yeah, I think so. Could
Yeah.
you?
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
It's true. I'm the same way. I say that, but I say that because I can't fight. I don't.
Well, I would say I'm a lover, not a fighter. But if somebody messes with someone I love, you're toast.
I like that,
Mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to start it, but if someone comes in,
bro. If someone
going.
like said something like, I don't want to go even to the physical. Someone said something like yelled at your dog.
oh,
You're scrapping.
Treat Penny like that.
That's what I'm saying. You got to go for like the heartstrings.
Yeah, that's my princess.
Someone like spit at your dog. You're
No.
fighting.
Yeah. No,
You're fighting.
no chance.
Someone calls Penny ugly, I'm going in.
I'm losing that fight that I'm fighting.
No, I think there's certain things that if verbal words, verbal confrontation. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking
Verbal
for.
words.
Fuck yes.
I can't find my verbal words, so I use my fist.
When
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. Some guy
No.
walks up to you and says something smart, and you're like, verbal,
Yeah.
knock him out. You're like,
Exactly.
fuck this. I don't need
No,
to
but I
talk
mean,
to you.
if you can't solve it with your words, and you can't talk someone off a ledge and figure that out, and they keep coming,
Yeah.
there's a time where I'm like, I'm not going to let someone just attack me.
No.
There is a time and a place, but I think being ready for that at all times is a a strength. But
De-escalation always.
yeah, being able to do it, but not using it for in the wrong reasons for anything.
And I'm like, always want to be in good enough shape to like, what if like you and your chick get mugged on the street or something, right? Like, and like,
But to
that's
be clear,
also
you
a
don't
state of mind.
You don't have a chick, right?
I'm single. I'm single.
I'm never being invited back ever here.
No, I think this is the most
We're gonna send you
questions I've
pictures
ever
from
been
Lakeside.
asked
Really?
on
I
the
should
podcast.
shut
I
the
like it.
fuck up.
I like being asked questions. Brock never asked me anything.
Brock.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on,
because I already know everything, dude. What is there to ask?
Yeah.
Ask me something. Ask me if he's single. I got an answer.
Is he single?
Well, the thing is,
Yeah. Get into the
It's a tough question.
details. Yeah.
It's complicated.
Oh my
there's
God.
multiple answers for this singular question. No, man, but what so you do golf, chess, and Catan.
Okay, yeah.
What else do you like
things
to do for fun?
I paint. I like
You paint?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
I picked that up this year.
that's awesome.
I really like painting.
Any illustrations or just mainly
I'll show you. No, just
oil paint?
like
Acrylic?
What is it about painting that you like?
honestly, it's similar to golf in the sense that it's like a solitary activity that is very mindful and also expressive. So like depending on my mood, I can create something different and kind of like put some stuff down. I don't know, like
It's actually a
little, like,
really good point.
abstract
Oh, that's
stuff.
awesome.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's legit as hell.
These ones I
that's-
did with a buddy of mine, but these hang up in my room.
That's awesome.
I was expecting, like the little George W. Bush, like child paintings.
I was
No,
expecting something.
I'm
I was
kidding,
expecting
I'm
something like
kidding.
this. Dude.
Those are super legit, dude. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Very impressive.
That is really cool, actually. Thank you.
Yeah. You just said a year, so I'm like, all right, maybe he's just getting his wheels going. You
Dude,
know?
the truth about
which would be normal.
painting and art, from what as I've been doing it for a couple months, but it's like, it's similar to writing. It's that thing where it's like, I think the only thing stopping people from doing it is literally just doing it. You could just do it. It's because it's subjective. I mean, I have my buddy paints with me sometimes, and he will be like, I'm scared to like make a mistake. And it's just so cheesy, but it's really true, is like, that's a good place to practice making mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Like on a canvas, it's just
You can
paint.
you can repaint over it if you want.
But there's got to be some metaphor there for life where
Yeah.
it's like, you know, you're afraid to make a mistake on this thing that's, you know, cost you whatever, $50, and it's just pain when you just go get another one. Like, how does that translate to something that has huge life implications for you?
Yeah.
Bob Ross calls them happy accidents.
Happy accident. I know all about happy accidents.
Happy accidents.
We have, as I'm a pianist and I took piano lessons as a kid and I had to do recitals. So my first experience with happy accidents or mistakes was like learning that, you know, musicians on stage oftentimes make a ton of mistakes. You just never know because they just breeze through it.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, a great metaphor for life. Like, just be confident in what you're doing and trust that whatever mistake you made, you know,
Don't judge it.
Meant to happen. Don't judge it.
I like the expressive comment about golf too. I kind of want to get into that, but also with mistakes.
Yeah.
He's playing with Hank Haney and Cabo, and he's like, well, you know, obviously slice a fucking drive out of bounds. And he goes, dude, golf is a game of mistakes. No shot is ever perfect in golf.
Yes.
So every single shot you hit is a mistake. You know, you could argue if you make the putt, then whatever, but that's like one out of.
No, but I know, by the way, if you hit the putt, sometimes it's not the line you saw.
Right.
So it's still
You
a
could hit
mistake.
the right side of the hole.
Yeah.
You hit the left side of the hole.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think I like to think like that on the course, where I go like, I don't think of how high my top is. I go like, how high can my bottom be today? Like, if this is my worst shot today, I did great. You know, it's like bringing the bottom up. By the way, I treat my life like that too. It's a you know, not to get into like a heavier topic, but like in sobriety for me too, like there's a lot of talk of like just bringing your bottom up, you know, because people focus on like, I want to, you know, live this magnificent full life. And that's good too. But it's also good to think like, okay, have I done everything in my power to make sure that like my lowest moment today isn't going to be so low? Because you don't want like throughout the day. It's a lot nicer when you have stability.
Dude, 100%. Like when you're playing golf, I just want to break 90. And if you shoot 81, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or like I want to break 80 or 85 or whatever your number is for that person. But like fucking A. Hell yeah, dude. There's a lot of like very interesting, valuable life lessons in sobriety as well.
It's my whole life. I learned, I genuinely believe that my entire adult life is modeled around the things I learned in sobriety, for sure.
That's amazing. How long have you been sober now?
It was 5 years, April 1st of this year.
That's amazing.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you. Yeah. I like to talk about it too, because you know, you're not supposed to, as far as like the anonymity goes, I don't talk about like my specific program, but being sober, you're welcome to talk about. And I know that when I got sober at 22, I didn't have a lot of people I knew or a lot of examples of young people being sober. I knew there was a long list of, you know, people in the public eye and people that I knew privately, but I just, you know, I've had people reach out and gotten, you know, private messages over the course of my sobriety of people being like, well, when I saw that you could do it, you know, it kind of made me think that maybe I could. And that's the best feeling in the world. So the truth and the truth, like truly, I have no reason to say this. I have no reason to lie about this. Like my life is infinitely better. I have 10 times more fun, even when I go out, and I can go to bars now. Some people can't, some people take some, I can go out. I can go to like a party. I can be around my friends. I have alcohol in my house for my friends if like we were to like have a pregame there. But, and obviously, you know, I'm different from other people. Some people can't have that, but I'm way more fun now. And because I'm not a maniac, and also sobriety, a lot of it, and we don't have to get into the weeds, but a lot of addiction is like alcohol or substances are the medicator. So it's a symptom of something deeper. And so for me, like not drinking was, or just stopping drinking was like 50% of the process, if not less. The rest then is like discovering like, okay, why did I seek this out as medicine?
Yeah.
And, you know, what am I trying to stuff or hide and yada, yada, yada. It's, you know, so.
Yeah, we all have different forms of numbing, right? Or trying to cover that stuff up. And sometimes it's substance, sometimes it's other things. And for me, it was when I was young, I didn't get into substance because of my experience in my family with that. But I went the other route and I went hardcore with training, and it was addicting to me. And then chasing that feeling of getting serotonin and everything, it's completely different. There's no comparison, obviously, but it was an addiction to me in that sense until I started to work on myself and I started to heal. And I was doing it out of like pain and anger and whatever it was. But when I healed that part, I didn't need it. So I didn't work out for a whole year after that.
Wow.
And I had to rechange the way that I thought about it because at least my health anyways, it changed my life in every single way. So, but hearing that from you, dude, is commendable. And I respect the hell out of you for sharing it and for doing it.
Thank you. But I love your anecdote though, because it's true. It's like addictive tendencies come in a million different shapes and forms. And, you know, whether or not someone wants to correct them is totally their journey. But I do know that at the root of all of that is the potential to grow so much as a person. It's so cool. Like I love knowing that like any of us could just go on a even minor journey of self-discovery and like the entire world changes. It's awesome.
100%, dude. It's, like you said, it's different for everybody, right?
Yeah.
And everyone has their own journey, but it is crazy, like how much the world opens up without alcohol or substances in it.
For me, man, completely agreed. Completely. Dude. Yes, I agree.
Like,
so much.
Yeah, it's something that you wish you could like share with everybody.
Yeah.
Right. And but you know, some people,
I found it's like that with people too, you know, where you, for whatever reasons, you know, we surround ourselves with people that, you know, we show up where we are, I think, and we attract that, right? When I started to get rid of the people that were hurting me or taking advantage or negative, whatever it would be, what I found is it created space for the good ones to come in.
Completely agreed. Completely agreed. I that's something I still work on. You know, because I have such people-pleasing tendencies. And you know, it sounds very like woo-woo LA stuff, but I'm down with it. That notion of like the energy you put out is the energy you attract. I for sure believe that. For sure. And I struggle with it because I you know, I have addictive tendencies because of both my genetics and the way I was raised. And that has nothing to do with my parents. It's literally just nature nurture stuff. And you know, some days innately my instinct is to carry a certain piece of negativity that's a residual from my life or from something that's popped up recently. And I definitely notice a difference on the days where I wake up, you know, with a clean slate versus those days. And I'm trying not to like come off preachy, but the truth is like I wake up every morning. I used to do this infrequently. This year I've done it every morning. I wake up every morning and I have the same routine. I started praying every day this year, and I'm non-denominational. I was raised Jewish. I was bar mitzvahed, but I kind of don't really subscribe to any, any particular organized religion. I like the texts from all of them and I respect all of them individually. But when I pray, I kind of just pray to like a God. And the act of doing that every morning and in my prayer, I make sure I say things I'm grateful for too. Like off of what we're saying, when I do that and I mean it, because some mornings, and my first sponsor told me this, is like, you got to fake it till you make it. A lot of the times you're just talking to yourself, you know, if you're not in touch with yourself. But the mornings when I'm saying things and I believe them, like I'm grateful to wake up healthy right now. Like I watched this crazy Netflix documentary last night, Take Care of Maya. Have you guys seen that yet?
No.
Crazy. Watch it. But it's the health struggles of this kid. And I woke up this morning and part of my prayer was like, I'm just grateful to wake up healthy. Like I can use all my extremities perfectly. And I'm like a pretty fit guy. You know, I don't have like a headache, like little stuff. And and my whole day is okay then. Like anything can happen. And, you know, that's not to say like you couldn't have some calamitous disaster occur in your life, and it's going to mess your day up. But the point is like your spiritual foundation is there, like your emotional foundation is there. And I learned that in recovery. That's something I learned in recovery.
And I love that, man, because that's actually something I've been implementing more recently in my life, which I did a long time ago. And just through people I've been meeting lately and the way my life and the opportunities that have been coming. And there's been a lot of, God and prayer and different, like a friend of mine who I was just with the other day sent me this app that he uses as a guided prayer meditation.
Love that.
And so I did that the other day in the morning, just 20 minutes out in the front and sitting in the sun, enjoying it. But it's exactly what you're saying. It's when you sit down and if you're having a bad day, because I grew up with depression too, and I've had my dark moments and gone deep within and struggled with it a lot. But when I got to the point where, now prayer is taking it to a whole nother level for me, but I've always had this gratitude for my life and everything that's happened because I've learned and grown from it and it's made me who I am. But the prayer takes it to a different level.
Yeah.
And when you list off those things that you're grateful for and you start actually counting them, even if it's just waking up,
it's crazy.
It changes
And
everything.
think about you guys. Think about both of you. And I know you a little bit and I'm just getting to know you, but like think about how incredible your guys' lives are. Seriously. And I don't say that in like a condescending way whatsoever. It's crazy. Look at where we are.
Yeah.
Like what we're doing. This is fun.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It's so funny. I say this out loud because I need to hear it, but it's like I can get hung up over the dumbest stuff, man. I can, get mad because I got charged too much for parking somewhere and my whole day's shot. And it's like, my life is incredible. If I can just stay in gratitude, nothing can touch me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we're losing that a lot in society today. A lot of people are more, focused on creating drama and dwelling on drama. Like every night before bed, my prayer is a gratitude list. Like I just do it to myself in my head, in bed. It calms me down, puts me in a happy place.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, no, I appreciate you saying that. And it's, and sharing that because I think it's good for people to hear that. Like I don't have a headache. I have 2 arms, 2 legs, and I can function without, experiencing pain or sorrow or whatever. Like that's a good day.
I completely agree.
Has Grace Point come out?
No, it's being, they're shopping it. It's funny. I was really involved in that. I'm a producer on that film as well. And I was, I was really hands-on, and then I haven't been able to be past few months, if not even like a full year. But the director, writer of that is a good friend of mine. He's a badass guy, Rory Karpf. He does a lot of stuff with the UFC too, which is cool. So there were some UFC fighters in that movie. It was fun.
Hell yeah.
Got the boy up with Aljamain Sterling. Chris Weidman came into the thing. It was cool. But I think they're shopping it.
Dope.
But yeah, I don't. I'm quitting.
I'm done.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wanted to give everything upcoming for you so we can lead people into that.
Upcoming is tabled because I support the writer strike, and so until that's resolved, I will be on the picket lines with my cohorts. But I support the strike, and I'm looking forward to a resolution. And after that, I'm sure there's some fun things ahead. But for now, I got tunnel vision with that.
Hell yeah, man! Respectable,
awesome
team player, bro.
That's it.
Man of the people.
Get that shit going.
Look, people said a lot of things about me in my life, but one thing that stayed true is I'm a man of the people.
There it is.
I love it, dude. I love it.
It's like, and look at camera.
But yeah, man. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you.
Thanks, boys. This was fun.
This was awesome.
Definitely gonna get a golf round in.
Please.
We gotta do that. And
Sorry,
maybe some
I
chess.
talked throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, sorry.
Kind of the point.
Yeah, you should have never talked so much on our podcast that's made for talking.
Yes, let's golf soon. Seriously.
Yeah.
And chess. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming, brother.
And when we get there, Catan.
Thank you for watching Studio 22.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And follow our socials at Studio 22 Podcast.